Hey, what is up everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and Black Clover confirmed what we were all thinking. The Dark Triad was only the beginning. A massive twist involving the strongest devil and a deviously broken magic has once again turned the Spade Kingdom War Arc upside down. And a new ultimate villain has just taken center stage. The Black Bulls are here and fighting to the death, and Asta and Yuno are trying to summon up the energy to keep fighting after draining themselves in punishing fights against devils and the Dark Triad. Oh, and by the way, the next gate of the cliff off is about to open. This is crazy, so let's get into it. If you guys enjoy our Black Clover content and you want to see more in the future, just leave a quick like and comment. It only takes a second, but it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you watch our videos but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a quick favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. With the way that YouTube works now, the only way to make sure that you will actually see our videos is to subscribe, hit that bell, and then select the option that says all. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. Finally, this video will contain Black Clover manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. The chapter picks up at the very moment that Yuno manages to slice through Zenon's devil heart. In that moment, Zenon thinks about how similar he and Yuno actually are. But Zenon has been defeated and Yuno stands triumphant, which makes Zenon wonder, where did the two of them part ways? What made them so different in the end, despite having such similar origins? The crucial difference seems to be the fact that Yuno is still in the middle of his vow with his best friend Asta. His vow to remain friendly rivals and to strive together to become the Wizard King. Zenon and his friend Alan had a similar vow about becoming the commanders of the Spade Kingdom forces, but after Alan died, Zenon lost his way. Without his best friend to guide him, to inspire him, and to keep him on the right track, Zenon lost sight of his true goal. He became angry and jaded, and with a push from his devious siblings, he ultimately turned into a monster. That is where Zenon and Yuno differ. Zenon was willing to sacrifice Alan's life in battle, and the consequences of that decision brought about the corruption of his character. Meanwhile, Yuno refused to sacrifice Langris or any of his comrades, and that decision is what sets him apart from Zenon. By the way, it appears that Zenon might be dying in this moment, but again, this is Black Clover, so I am not making any conclusions. All that we know right now is that he has been defeated. As parts of the palace begin to collapse as a result of the epic clash between Yuno and Zenon, Asta and the crew that had fought Megicula realize that Yuno has defeated Zenon. Asta smiles with great pride at his best friend's and rival's achievement, and now that all three members of the Dark Triad have been defeated, the cliff off will close and the Spade Kingdom War Arc will finally come to an end, right? Right? No, of course not. Despite the fact that all three members of the Dark Triad have now been defeated, the advent of the cliff off has not stopped. In fact, it is continuing full speed ahead, and this is bad news for the people of the Spade Kingdom. Remember all of those lower ranked devils that have been pouring out into the kingdom from the cliff off? Yeah, they are still coming out one after the other, and no matter how many of them are defeated, they just keep coming. These guys may not be the strongest devils, but if there is an endless number of them, then they are still incredibly dangerous and deadly. And if someone doesn't close the cliff off soon, the civilian population will be overrun by these devils. In fact, the current situation is so bad that all the way in the Clover Kingdom capital, Chibi Julius is hunched over on his knees and sweating profusely. He feels that something is off and that something terrible is about to happen. And if Julius himself is saying this, and if he is worried, then something is seriously wrong. Most of the time, Julius is cheerful and carefree, even in the toughest of circumstances. So his behavior here tells us that the battle for the Spade Kingdom is far from over. Something big is about to happen, something that will eclipse everything that we've seen up to this point. Back in the Spade Kingdom Palace, Dorothy's using her dream magic to fight Morris, but she is clearly struggling and Morris has the upper hand. Morris then reveals the true nature of his magic, reconstruction magic. And this magic, when combined with devil magic, has become absolutely overpowered. Lotus from the Diamond Kingdom is also there, and he has betrayed Morris because he wants to protect his family from the chaos that Morris is trying to create. But Lotus simply can't measure up in this fight, and he has already lost an arm. Morris then reveals the shocking truth. Unlike Lotus, he no longer has any family attachments because his true purpose is to be the messenger of the strongest devil, Lucifer. We see Lucifer's mouth manifesting on Morris's forehead, and Lucifer himself is then able to speak directly through that mouth. Wow, this was super gross, but it's also a kind of cool way to mark the Halloween season. Lucifer says that unlike Dante, Morris actually knows what he is talking about. And this confirms that Lucifer never really respected Dante, even though Dante was his human host. It's clear that Lucifer was just using Dante, and let's be real, he's probably just using Morris as well. However, I've been saying for a long time that the Dark Triad would fall, and that the real final villain will turn out to be Lucifer, and maybe some other higher ranked devils, and possibly the fourth Zogratis sibling once we discover that he exists. This chapter seems to confirm that Lucifer is the strongest devil, that is what Morris says, and Lucifer proclaims that he is about to fully enter this world in his true body. According to Lucifer, the second gate of the Qliphoth is about to open, and as soon as it does, he will come forth in his real body. This is kind of weird because I always assumed that Lucifer was on the very lowest level of the Qliphoth. However, Morris then explains that he used his magic to literally remake the Tree of Qliphoth. As a result, the Dark Triad are no longer required for the ritual. All that's needed now are the magic and life force of Yami and William. And that is why the advent of the Qliphoth did not stop even after all three members of the Dark Triad were defeated. Morris's reconstruction magic seems to allow him to essentially take anything around him and reconstruct it into another form. And he appears to be using the bodies of countless lower ranked devils to create giant devil Frankenstein monsters that he then uses to attack his enemies. We know that he can also take the magic of some people and transplant it into other people by using reconstruction to fuse grimoires. So it is clear that Morris's magic has endless possibilities. Now, we still don't know the full scope of reconstruction magic and what exactly it can and cannot do, but I imagine that it is extremely versatile and that it gets a massive power boost from Lucifer. Lotus knows that he can't run away, even though that is what his instinct would normally tell him to do, because if he runs and the devils win, his family and all other humans will be in danger. So Lotus decides to stay and fight, but it doesn't look good for him as one of those Frankenstein devils attacks him directly. Things look very bad for Lotus and Dorothy, but then everyone hears a crashing sound and suddenly the wall bursts open. Through the opening in the wall, the Black Bulls storm in to save the day. Gray is there, Gauche is there, Vanessa and Gordon and Henry are also there, and they all declare that they've come to get Captain Yami back. As the Black Bulls prepare to face off against Morris and Lucifer and all those Franken devils, the chapter comes to an end. Wow, this was nuts. The Dark Triad is down and out. Yuno is triumphant, but there was literally no time to celebrate because the new major villains are already here, Morris and Lucifer. But how can Lucifer have multiple hosts at once? Clearly he had a contract with Dante and Morris at roughly the same time. So is this something that every highest devil can do, or is it unique to Lucifer? Also, are there even more Lucifer hosts out there that we don't even know about? This revelation that Lucifer can have multiple hosts throws everything we know into question. Also, how strong is Morris right now? Presumably, his already powerful reconstruction magic now has a devil boost, and we can also assume that he now has Lucifer's gravity magic at his disposal. So keeping all of that in mind, I feel like Morris hasn't shown us even a fraction of his true power yet. Furthermore, Morris seems like the type of guy who would gladly accept the same Devil's Heart deal as Xenon did, so we really can't underestimate how strong Morris might be. I don't know if he's gonna end up being the final villain of the arc, but he's definitely up there. So, can the Black Bulls actually make a difference in this fight, Or are they outmatched by Morris and Lucifer? And what about Asta and the others? Can they take Morris down before the next gate opens? Personally, I think that Morris probably will be defeated by a massive team effort, but not before the second gate opens. And speaking of that second gate, isn't Lucifer's real body supposed to be on the lowest floor of the underworld? How did he get to the second level? And does it have something to do with Morris reconstructing the Qliphoth itself? Finally, who do you think will end up being the final villain of this arc? Will it be the combination of Morris and Lucifer? Will it be the fourth Zogratis sibling and the Time Devil? Or will it be someone else? Definitely share your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this Black Clover video and you want us to keep the Black Clover content coming, just leave a quick like. It only takes a second, but it helps a lot. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you watch us regularly, but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You really have to go through the trouble of subscribing, hitting the bell, and then selecting that option that says all. If you don't do that, you're still gonna miss a ton of our content, even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. And of course, a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma. This guy is an absolute mad lad and a disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones that rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Aljatal, Pate Heffa, Hinokami and Water, The Toasted Chi, Corey McGowan, The Spike, 8227, Kaido Might Be a Gyarados, Dylan Isidore, Spidey Life Tanel, Tungsten Tarkus, Baked Buddhist, Cody Hebert, and Jeremy Cummings. Finally, thank you also to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, The Red-Haired Raven, Steelers, Angel Cruz, Very Gucci, Alicia Octer, Bonnie Parks, Joanne Garcia, Fatboy Games, and Jessica Rabbit. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value to you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our Patreon-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos, along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!